We got Luke. Luke, how'd you get in here? I didn't let you in. Anyway, Jake, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you here.
Hello.
So like while we wait for people to continue to hop in, I feel like for today's call, man, let's just like make it like a workshop. If you guys already have DM conversations that you're like not sure where to take them, let's talk about that. We got Luke in here. You guys don't know who Luke is. Luke, say hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, bro. So Luke is he's doing a lot of the sell by chat stuff for our team, and so I figured like why not have him in here? We can we can talk about some of the stuff that's working right now, workshops and shit, whatever is best for you guys. Does anyone have any specific questions or situations you want to dive into right away?
Yeah, I go on. So it's not so much like talking to people in the DMs. I find fine. No, it's I get them on calls easy. It's just kind of I don't know if I should continue because obviously yesterday I used our welcome DM thing, and I gained like 200, 300 a day. So most of the time they're not really my target market. So obviously it sends out like what resonate with you, like thanks for following, etc., etc.
Sure.
But I don't know if I should keep the conversation going or bother to try and qualify them because they're not really my target market, or if I should just focus on just cold DMing my actual target market.
Okay, so first things first, before we dive in here, what's up, guys? Raj, Eddie, if you guys have DM conversations, maybe post them in the lead gen and sales channel and tag me, and then we can share a screen. But yeah, Aaron, it's gonna be interesting, man, because like you're going to get a lot of people if you're just sending out auto welcomes. It's going to get a lot of conversations, but I would be focusing on people that are like engaging with your content that's like specific. If you have content like one of your pillars, like what are some of your pillars that you're talking about?
Because I mainly talk about like motivation and wisdom and stuff, like the general sort of get ahead in life sort of stuff. And they normally, like the people who engage with me, they are, my not really target market, but they wouldn't work with me sort of thing because of their account size, or I don't want to sound like a dick, but they're broke.
Yeah, well, exactly, because it's like very general. I was talking to LB about this yesterday. He's another ghostwriter. He grew his Twitter following by like 100,000 followers in 8 months, which is crazy. And he was like, with your content pillars, he told me for myself, if I were to try to launch a coaching offer, let's say for sales, it's like talk about, you have like engagement content, which is going to get a lot of people interested, but maybe not so best like your ideal clients. And then there's like the specific stuff around your offer. So for example, like if I want to do sales coaching, I would talk about sales, closing techniques, like specific tactical stuff, I would say. Maybe like high level strategy, tactics, and then mindset, and then like productivity, which would be like the engagement shit. Like, just like the 10 things I wish I knew when I was like 18 or something when I got, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's like, if you don't have any of the first two, it's like, well, no wonder everybody's broke because it's so general. It's like, basically you're just doing platitudes. Oh,
so like post more sort of offer related stuff. And then the people who engage with that, then
well, like what it's like the people that want more followers, like lead gen stuff or like audience building stuff, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Well, that makes sense, bro.
I think, yeah. I mean, you're a ghostwriter, so you should probably have a good idea like what to write. But anyway, guys, anyone else have any specific questions, or if you guys have screenshots of conversations, we can just dive right into those. I'll share my screen, or you guys can.
I've got a question.
Yeah, hit me.
So I guess it's just, I suppose it's more of a thing. Like, I don't know if my kind of cold DM outreach strategy is like, I don't know if it's very good, because I don't know, like, I basically just don't know how to kind of effectively send that first sort of outreach DM to my kind of like targeted prospect. Like at the moment, obviously, like since my offer is like to do with the YouTube side of things, I first of all literally just ask them if they're creating content on YouTube, because I don't want to come across straight away as if I'm selling them something, and I kind of want to ease into the conversation. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I should.
So we're talking about cold. They don't know who you are. They don't follow you. They don't.
Yeah, like I'm just so like just full on cold DM because I think they would be suitable for my kind of service.
Okay. Let's. You know what? Let's just do this. Like, if I were you, Jake, like, let's. Who are some of the people that have your audience? Like, you want to work with coaches, agency owners? Like, who do you want to work with?
Yeah, so like people who basically have a high ticket offer, so like coaching programs, that type of thing, really.
Okay. Okay. So I would be like going to, like, let's say ecom whiz or whatever, or no, I guess. Let's go to Keppel. Good old Keppel. And let's say he was one of our prospects, right? If I were looking at his stuff, you know, I were you, I'd be like, hey, Keppel. Oh, oh, don't read my messages. I'd be like, hey man, I love your the conversation I'd be going I would look at his profile and like, what stands out to me? Dude, hey Kevel, I love your stuff on e-commerce. Checked out a lot of your tweets. If I had to do SEO myself, I would like jump off a bridge. Send something like that. And he's like, oh, like, thanks, man. You know, something to lower the guard where it's not like you're another fucking Joe Blow, like another dude asking him for like a sales pitch, basically. And then you hit him with the sales pitch. No, where it's like, well, dude, I love that you have some videos here. Like, are you, do you have any longer form stuff for your clients or something like that? Like, do you have any, like, are you posting on, or are you sharing any of your stuff on YouTube, or is it all on Twitter? Like something along those lines. I think like the main thing is just like having something where it's like some kind of observation, either a compliment or something funny or something where it's like you lower the guards and then to start the conversation. Because the very first message of a cold DM is not to like sell them or book a call or to like do anything like that. It's literally to get them to respond. You know what I mean? And like open up the conversation where you can lead to you guys like talking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like obviously, like even though my first message hasn't been that sort of salesy because I'm just asking them a question, it's still kind of like if they really wanted to, they could find out that I'm basically trying to sell them on something. So that's the issue. Like I guess a lot of people don't even go ahead with the conversation because they know that they're kind of being sold or like I'm trying to kind of sell them. So yeah, so I guess open up the conversation with nothing really related to kind of what I'm selling and then ease into it.
Yeah, man, it's like dating, you know.
Yeah.
If you go up to a girl, or if you're a girl going up to a guy, like, and you're in a bar, like a social situation, it's like, you know, like you can think of like the most clever thing to say, but at the end of the day, you know, they know why you're there. You know why they're trying to talk to you, like. And so really, it's like, how can you just open that conversation and actually have a conversation and like start a normal relationship? I would say, like, without being weird and without being super aggressive and salesy. Because you could do the opposite approach, which is just blast everybody with DMs. Just like, hey, do you want my YouTube services? Like, which is like, you know, it's like the meathead approach. It's like, you might get like every couple hundred messages, you might get someone's like, yeah, I'm actually looking for that right now. And it's like, you're just cranking through the numbers. Luke, why don't we, like, we can probably share some of the stuff that we're doing, because you're in the DMs for JK now, and we're doing a lot of outreach stuff.
Yeah. Do you think some of the ones I sent you earlier, do you want to go over them and explain where I went wrong or anything to improve on, or do you want me to load up some new ones?
Yeah, we can do that if that would be valuable for you guys.
Yeah, I think there's some good ones. Some ones where like I could have taken it in a different place where like I even like myself, you telling me that, so I think it could be.
Yeah. Or if you guys have any other specific questions too, we can definitely go into that. I can share some of the stuff that let's just look at this. Can we see this? Oops. Can you see these messages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, like little things. So if you guys were to look at this message and be like, okay, like what's good, what could be better? Oops, we got Marcos coming in. I gotta let these people in. So hey, this guy's like, hey, appreciate the like. So he's a warm follower, he's not cold. He's like, hey, anytime, appreciate you reaching out. By the way, I must say, blah blah. I said something about Tweet Hunter. You really built gym. Hopefully selling it won't make it worse. Haha. This was just like a very minor thing, but like if like to me, he's like trying to make a joke here, and you're like, oh, thanks, man. Happy it's been useful for you. How's your short form content going? I would have been like, at least try to do like, you know, something more human would be like making another joke back, but that's maybe just my style. Either way, what we are doing here is like validating what they say and then transitioning to your next question rather than just being, oh, thanks. Like, how many clients do you have? You know, oh, dude, I hope happy it's been useful for you. Yeah, hopefully it won't turn into like, I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Let's do a different one. Okay, so this guy's good. So you're trying to scale this offer, depends on time. Is this the same conversation, Luke? These two guys? Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah. Wait, is it?
Yeah, so we're trying to scale this offer to monthly, depends on some time. 6 months, improve the offer and grow with the same clients, big numbers. I like the ambition. So he's validating it. What do you think will be your biggest challenge to get there? In the long run, definitely winning the branding authority and trust war with our competitors. So Luke was like, where should I take this message? And I was like, well, what we always want to do, and makes it super easy without like coming up with some crazy, without like reinventing the wheel. Like his biggest challenge, he says, is like winning this trust war, branding, authority, something like that. Wants to continually improve the offer and grow the same clients. I was like, okay, well, like, gotcha. So really what you're talking about here is how to position yourself differently than everyone else so that you kind of stand out. Is that right? And I would kind of like get a buy-in. And if he's like, yeah, like, dude, totally get it. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that took me, like, because he's talking as JK. That's one of the things that took me from, you know, 10K per month to 6 figures per month or whatever, you know. Would you be open to like jumping on a quick call with my team to talk about some of the ways that we can help you with your offer and with your positioning, something like that, and basically just using what they say to book the call. But I don't know, is there like a specific, just to like stop share because there's a bunch of people in here, is there like a specific part of like setting over DMs that is like a challenge for you guys? Is it like opening? Is it sending cold stuff? Like, well, if you guys want to just drop the chat or just unmute yourself, let me know.
Yeah, bro, I think number one is like just overcomplicating the opening side of things, like because I'm kind of like you in the sense that I'll try to make it funny, more human, and sometimes I'll like overthink it in the sense that, oh, is this something I would say, or is this too much of a does it come off as I'm being too much of a kiss ass or something like that? So those are just things that take me longer to form that. And then I would say the second challenge is how to get them more problem aware. Because like sometimes I look at a guy's profile pic and I'm like, you're just not in shape. And then they're like, yeah, I'm in great shape. And it's like, I can't say, no, you're not. You know what I mean? I just got to be like, cool.
Okay. So just to overcomplicate an intro and getting them to taking them from like, hey, to like getting them to a conversation where they're opening up about their pain points.
Exactly.
Do you have any examples?
Sure, I'll look for an example and then I'll get back to you in 5. Or like 2. I'll be quick. All right.
Dude, like the biggest thing, let me share my screen here. So let me go to Mr. Coach Raj. Let's look at these guys. Who's liking this stuff? I'm gonna creep on some people. I help men become better fathers. Da 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 da. Okay, so father of 3. So probably wouldn't be hitting up these other people that are also trying to like sell fitness stuff. Let me look at this guy. I would say, based on this guy's chat, okay, so I'm assuming his parent, he's tweeting stuff. I would say something like, hey dude, I saw that you liked one of my tweets. Maybe I'd send like a screenshot of it. What was it? This one? Hey, I saw that you liked my lose fat without tracking calories thing. And I checked out your profile. Where'd he go? Oh yeah. Hey, I was like, hey Matt, I saw you checked out my thing, lose weight without tracking calories. Dude, I checked out your profile and it's cool that you help men become better fathers. Curious, man, with you having 3 kids, how do you fit your fitness into that, into your life? Or like, how do you find time to do fitness, to maintain your health and fitness while you're also helping men and like doing everything else? Something like that. I don't know. Like the thing is, like, if you're going to do outreach, just like don't overthink it. Like if you walked up to this guy, like what would you say to him? Yeah.
Yeah, man, that makes sense. I'm still looking for an example, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has like screenshots, we could definitely look at them.
Hey Ben, how's it going?
What's up, Tim?
Yeah,
Good, man.
I have a screenshot. So I just started today my DMs journey, and I stole the script from JK selling me this coaching program. So
Okay.
I would like to know, what do you think about that? I can send you as a screenshot or as a text. What do you like?
Can you share your screen, or do you want you
Yeah,
can just send it over? Either share your screen or just like send it over the Slack probably.
Share the screen. I need you to give me this access.
Oh yeah, it should be good. Let's see it.
Yeah, I see here. So can you see?
Yep.
So here's an example. So yeah.
Okay, so this is just like, was this like totally cold?
Yeah, it's totally cold. So I added these people to the list. Let me show you 20 people. So I engaged with their tweets for like 2 days or something, and then I messaged them with such a DM. By the
Wait a
way,
second. When you add them to the list, can you go back to your list?
I think I don't remember, something like.
Wait, like, do they see when they're added to this list?
I believe no, because it's private.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, if someone like added me to their list of like a list of prospects or something, I would like die laughing. But okay, cool. All right. So anyway, so you're commenting on this guy saying, hey, sure, blah, blah, blah. Start under 1,000.
No, this is
okay.
a testimonial. Yeah, it's just guys saying they're totally like our job. So
like you sent that first?
I think I added it to the message, and Twitter sent it first. Yes. Is it bad idea? Like message first and then photo is better?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I would probably wait for him to like engage first before before dropping that.
Okay.
And so, hey man, I was looking over some ecom comment and I found yours 2 times BCS. It's insane. Well done. Recently helped the ecom wolf increase the income from TikTok 10 times to 11K per 1 million views. Yeah, would you be opposed to chatting about how we can land you clients plus grow your brand audience via TikTok or organic? Like, can you go to this person's profile?
Yep. Yeah, so I took this from his bio.
Hand laid multi-layer wood map script. Huh. I would have probably said, okay, first of all, I would probably message him and say, hey dude, I was looking at I found your profile just scanning for econ or for econ clients. I just like came across your profile. Or say, hey, like your profile is one of the recommended profiles. And I checked it out. It looks like you have a cool store. Curious, like, you could just go straight out and ask him, like, do you have like a TikTok strategy to bring in sales for your store, or is it all from ads,
Yeah,
or something like that?
Just a question to start from.
Yeah, something a bit more like less pitchy, like you're trying. I think you're trying too much here. You're trying to again, we're trying to start a conversation, and this is kind of not to say it's wrong, but just going for the kill right away, all in one message. So be like, hey dude, love your store. I just randomly found you because how did you find them? Right? I just I always say it's I just randomly found you, or I found you on through this person's tweet or someplace that we have in common. And here's why I'm reaching out. I was just curious, are you using TikTok, or are you just running ads to your store? The reason why I ask is just because, I've helped a few ecom clients scale up organically and cut their ad budgets down, something like that. Let me know if you'd be interested in hearing more. You could go it that way.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm just making notes here.
Yeah. Raj says he's out of storage. Raj, do you want to just share your screen as well, and we can just look at some of these conversations? Or
yeah, bro, I'm down for that.
Unless they're super private. Yeah.
No, that's all good. It's all good. So can I share?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, better.
Close the porn.
Bro, we have that semen retention, baby. All day.
Of course.
Okay, cool. So this guy's a legit qualified lead. Don't look it up. Don't look at my DMs. But so outreach right here. So he kept pushing it back. So you can read the whole thing. Just let me know when you want me to scroll.
Yeah. What made so is this guy following you? Is he what was the context before you reached out to him? Is he cold?
Straight up cold, look legit. So I'm trying to work with ultra legit people now, in the sense that have big followings, are startup founders, whatever, do that kind of thing. And my thought process is so that when I over deliver, get them results, they talk about me and I get exposed to their audience, and I can start to get those types of people more and more. I have a couple, I have a guy who's a circle expert, a guy with 11K followers, but no one super credible. And I almost got two guys with 100K followers, went back and forth, but didn't end up closing. But anyway, that was the reason. Completely cold, doesn't follow me.
Yeah.
Let me know when you want me to scroll.
Yeah, I love the work you're doing. Educate people various options for them. Let's go up the top. Let's just read it. Hey Sergio, I love the work you're doing. Educating people. Love. Okay, so a genuine compliment. Keep killing it. That's cool. Yeah, so it's we're going from hey, here's my name. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? I would just start the thing I see missing is you're missing the context. Why are you reaching out? Or basically the reason why you're reaching out. Hey dude.
So did I say
the reason
that,
why I'm reaching out? I would just say, it's hey, I'm Coach Raj. It's hey, what's up? I'm Raj, and the reason why I'm reaching out is because
it says it right there, bro. In the second paragraph of the first message.
Yeah, but I mean, having that before you go into the permission.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and I work with 6 to 7-figure entrepreneurs to eradicate their health issues and optimize their sleep and performance. He like then like means like rather than going right into, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? It's like just want to reach out just to see if, you know, like you could say like maybe you're trying to like add some value to people with that are like doing bigger things on Twitter.
Okay.
You know, do you mind if I ask you a few questions to see if there's some room to optimize your current, what would you say, like your health and your health routines or something like that?
Health routines. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just trying to see if I can. Okay, so like, hey, Sergio, dude, I came across your profile. I love the work that you're like. I love that you're doing this and that and like something specific. My name's Raj, and like I work with 6 and 7 entrepreneurs to help them, you know, like optimize their performance, their sleep, their health. Just wanted to like, I'm reaching out to a few people just to see if I can add value and give you some insight into like ways that might be able to help you get more productivity from your current routines. You mind if I ask you a couple of questions to see if I can help? And if he's like, yeah, cool. Okay. And then you can like go down.
Yeah.
So cool. Can you tell me more about your methods and track record? Yeah. So he's like kind of like switching the frame, and like this is like a sales thing that's like who's the person who's asking the questions like controls the frame, right? And so you need to ask like a connecting question to kind of put the focus on him where he's answering your question. So it's like he's like, hey man, Raj, yeah, that's nice. Like, could you tell me more about your methods and your track record? I'm like, yeah, dude, absolutely could go into that. Mind if I ask? One like 3 of the biggest issues that my clients have are like brain fog, what would you say, like poor sleeping, and just like overall
low energy,
stress. Yeah, energy. Okay, like how would you measure that? Like just like tired all the time?
Yeah,
or like
constantly,
or stress, something to do with stress.
Yeah, okay. Stress too.
Yeah, okay, so it's like, yeah, so maybe 4, so it's like just, yeah, definitely can go into that. Just curious because 4 of the main issues I see are like brain fog, constant fatigue from being stressed all the time, poor sleeping, and like maybe like losing,
like Bill Gates.
Yeah, getting that Bill Gates body because you're spending so much time on your business versus your health. Do any of these resonate with you? I'm like, yeah. And then it's like, okay, which one the most? Or do any of these, if not all, resonate with you? And if he's like, yeah, if he goes into one, cool, because that gives you a path to lead the conversation. So he goes, yeah, dude, I haven't slept a full 8 hours in 5 years. You know, like that'll something like that would open up the conversation like crazy, because then you can go into wow, 5 years, like what if you tried to fix that? Almost like a very mini sales call, like going a level deeper is like, let's say he says, I have brain fog, you know, just brain fog. Okay, like when you say brain fog, like how is that showing up for you, right? And like how is that like impacting your work? Let him talk. Okay, gotcha. And like how long has this been going on? And he said, whatever it is. You could go into like, what have you tried anything to fix it? Because that's going to tell you like how you can like position your offer a bit, or like what he's looking for. And ultimately, if you solved your brain fog, what would that allow you to do with your business? Let him say it, tell you. And dude, it's like, I'm curious. So you've been trying, so now you have some context. So you've been trying to fix your brain fog for, or you've had brain fog for the past while. Like, what do you feel like you need to fix it? Right. So we're basically just following the script. And he goes, like, I just don't know. Like he might say, I don't know, or like maybe supplements or whatever he says. If he gives you something, he's like, gotcha, totally hear that a lot from a lot of my clients. Dude, like, why don't we do this rather than just going back and forth over Messenger? I'd love to hop on like just like a quick assessment call with you and just be able to like break down exactly what might be missing in your current routine. Like, where's the weak link in the chain here? And I can kind of share with you what my clients have done to eliminate brain fog and increase their productivity without, increase their productivity, regardless of whether you want to work with me or not. Happy to give you some insight. Would you be up for that? Or would that be helpful?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that would be super helpful. Okay, cool. Book it. Do you see how that's different?
Yes, very different. Very good. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was gonna say that, well, before you finished it, I was gonna be like, oh, is it gonna, like, are they gonna expect something different to, like, essentially a sales call or a qualifying call? But then the way you like ended it with, regardless if you want to work with me, you know, I can give you some insights and stuff like that. That makes it pretty clear that it is a sales call, but even if they decide not to, you still get some value, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, listen, dude, regardless of whether you want to work with me, I can share some of the strategies that my clients have worked with or like have used. And if you do your call, you know, if you, I guess if you follow kind of the scripts that we came up with last week, you know, a lot of times people can get a lot of clarity into like their real problems if you're asking the right questions. And, you know, if you're, if you like, you have a good transit, if you have like a, what do you call it? If you can help them really identify like what their real problem is in your transitions, like, yeah, I see you have brain fog. Here's the real, you know, it's like, I don't even know why people get that. Is it like food? Is like, what do people think? It's like breaking the beliefs. This is what JK always talks about, right? So it's like their belief around it is this. If you can break that belief, it's like, actually, it's because the real reason you have brain fog isn't because of like no sleep. It's because of like your diet. You know what I mean? It's like the foods that you're eating are creating like intolerances, or it's like the real reason you have brain fog is because it's like JK's whole talk yesterday was positioning. It's like either false beliefs or missing pieces. So like, can you identify that in the call? Because that's going to create a lot of clarity. And then ideally, if it's positioned right, it's like, okay, well, like, do you want some help fixing that? Yeah. And then you can just go into your offer and how it works and just close them. So anyone else got some conversations, questions? Don't be shy. Hey, Luke, why don't we go through JK's, we could go through JK's inbox right now and we can set somebody right now, give someone a demonstration.
I was literally just about to set someone as well. Someone's asked, set out for the call, like, do you want to hop on a call? And they're like, yeah, I would love to. So yeah,
share your screen. Let's do it in real time for people.
Hold up, let me load it up. I can't do it while someone else is doing it.
Oh, you should be able to now, I think.
Yeah.
What's up, Tessa? We're just doing like a workshop kind of style call where we're just helping people book more calls, kind of diagnosing or looking at what the wording of how we're getting people from like, who the hell are you, to like, let's book a call. So all right, so
yeah, I got a message up. And then
appreciate like cool help you gave on the call the other day.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if JK's already spoke to this guy, so I don't know. Let's carry that on. I've asked him. I'll see what he's saying. But where's the one that I just did? This one. I think it was the same one you were showing the in the call.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it got to about and then We
Sure.
said
So
that,
if
didn't
we
we?
help you with our position, such would you be down for a quick chat with the team? One thing to note, is Jake still on here?
Yep.
Jake, you sent one of your screenshots of your combos. You see how this is different than how you did it, which is like a huge wall of text.
Paragraph.
I mean, it's broken up. It's easier to read, and it's just like, yeah, it's just how we typically want to be texting or like DMing. And it's very casual. It's like, yeah, man, sounds like it needs some help to nail down positioning. You know, once I did that for my brand school of 6 figures per month, curious, so like if we could help you out with that positioning, etc. Like, would you be down for a quick chat with my team? He says, sounds good. Yeah. Cool, man. Mind, let me know when you've okay. So what we should have said here is like, hey, if it's a commitment loop thing that we talk about, right? Hey, if I drop their calendar link here, will you find a time right now while it's still fresh in your mind?
Yeah.
And then he goes, yeah, okay, here's a link. Let me know when it's through so I can confirm. I can confirm on my end, and then I'll go and like, and then you could have said what you just said here. You know, I'll let my team know and the details of our conversation. But if this is you guys doing it for yourself, hey, yeah, just let me know. Obviously, you're like, you just said, cool. If I drop my calendar link, will you find a time now? Okay, cool. Here's the link. Send me a screenshot when you found a time, just so I can confirm that it went through or something like that. Something to get them to confirm again. Yeah, and then this guy. Okay, so you sent this like 13 minutes ago. I would hit this guy with, hey, did you find a time?
All right now.
Yeah. Oh, he's messaging something. Oh, it's like the drum roll.
That's it. Let's see what he's gonna say.
Oh man, this guy is wait, his name's Will. Oh, he did book a time for Thursday.
Oh, he's already booked in.
Yeah, let's just see what he says.
Sounds like
Yeah, he's on there.
Nice.
Boom.
That's a set.
Cool.
And
So like,
what would you round that off with this stuff? Thanks. I look forward to hearing.
Just do like a mic drop. Awesome, man. Got to go grab some tacos. Let me know how it goes. Something like that. Awesome, dude. Like my I don't know. What would JK do? What's some things that JK does? I don't know. Like I gotta awesome, dude. I'm just heading off to the gym. Yeah, I'm heading off to the gym. Looking forward to hearing how it goes. That's what you just want to do. Is like when at the end of the call, after they confirm, just like, you know, I got to go. I'm in line to get coffee. Talk to you later. Something like that, you know. Looking forward to hear how it goes. Oh, so like if you're good with this and you have like, I mean, JK has a shit ton of leads, so like let's go to this Elliot Scott guy.
Yeah, this one I'm not sure if he has a problem. Like he's kind of building up his team right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just show you what I've done so far.
Hey, love the content, man. Needs to jump on Tweet Hunter. Cool. It'll ease the headache a bit. Through Twitter, he goes, okay, he's speaking clients through Twitter. Awesome. Few here and there. Okay, go down. Few here and there. Okay, a few here and there. So to me, that says it's inconsistent. So like reading between the lines is a good skill to have. So it's like, huh, what do you mean by a few here and there? It's like, it's not very consistent. That's what I would have said versus like a random kind of like comment on his,
that's
versus like a random kind of like website comment. So what would you say is the biggest challenge in your business right now? Like, growing the team at the moment, got multiple jobs that we do zero outreach. We get most of our work from referral. By the way, whenever you guys are like, what should I say? It's like, well, like, what is the biggest challenge? Like, that's what business is all about. It's like my go-to question on sales calls. It's really like, that's what the DM thing is all about. Dude, like, what is the biggest? And it's so broad. Like, you could have said, like, what's the biggest challenge for Twitter, which would have focused things down. But what's the biggest challenge in your business right now? It's like, it's a good question. So especially with JK has the authority too, but like either way, you should get compliance if, okay. So he does zero outreach, get most of our work from referrals. So we're very lucky in that respect. Just make sure the SOPs and teams are in place for efficient growth. So he's trying to like, okay, so like growing up the fulfillment team. Yeah, okay. So like rather than saying like, hey, we're like in terms of like revenue in like next 6 months, you could have probably said, okay, dude, like once you get your team built out, what would you say is like the goal from there?
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
the big miss here is like he said, yeah, a few here and there. I would have been like, oh gosh, is it inconsistent? And like, why do you think that is? Or like, are you trying to be consistent? Like, just that would have like, we could have got into a pain there.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's making
Probably
sense.
because he said, I do make, so that I thought, no, it's not really an urgent issue for him, but I see how you are looking at that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes like some of these people, like it's just not, there's nothing you can do but move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would you say to that? So I know you don't like the term "sky's the limit." You tell me that's non-violent language. So
yeah, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit is definitely non-buyer language. Want to probably double MRR within Q1, Q2. Double it. Oh, what's it at now?
yeah. You should ask that. Yeah. Double it.
Double it? Question mark. Nice. ... What are you at now? Something like that.
No.
And the big thing with these conversations, I just realized it's like your time zone's different than mine. It's like when you have people that are responding to you, it's like you never want to let the conversation die on your end. So it's like you might as well, make the most use of your time, because people aren't on Twitter all day. Typically, it's like if they're responding to you, it's like try to push the conversation forward as fast as possible. Oh, Jake has a screenshot for me. Give me 30 days in this offer and get some more clients. I'll come back to you. Just close 4 times today. This is one of Jake's combos.
Yeah, so basically like that was a guy I had a meeting with like yesterday, and he seemed very into it, like up until the point, like he was all for it up until the point basically when I said the price. And then conveniently he like had to get off the call and stuff, and like he was like kind of delaying, and it seemed like he really was gonna kind of go ahead, but then he threw an objection in the DMs essentially there, which is what's shown, and then that's kind of the conversation up until now. And I'm just kind of wondering how I can how I can try to turn him around, or if I'm doing anything wrong with trying to like turn him around in terms of like objection. Also, by the way, I've actually got to like go now, but I just thought I'd throw it in there so I can watch the recording back if you would like to go over it.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm just trying to see what is his objection. He just wants to like hold off.
Wants to make sure he's making right move. He's saying 30 days, but like that could just be like a kind of like, it's basically an objection saying like I need to think about it type of thing, but really like that's kind of that's not the real reason, or it mustn't be the real reason.
Yeah, it's kind of like hard to handle over the DMs. You could have probably tested it and be like, gotcha, dude, you want to hold off? No worries. My prices I do raise my prices every time I bring on a few more clients. I tend to bump them up. Like, let's lock you in for a deposit now and hold your hold that price so that we can just get started in 30 days. And then if he's like, oh, no, like there's the chances are it's just like an uncertainty objection. Like you probably didn't really like, at some point he's like not sure if this is like the best thing that he can be doing. So it's like, regardless of what you sell, if you sell fitness, like your thing is like the most important thing, right? It's like, oh, it doesn't matter about business stuff or anything. It's like you know, if your fitness sucks. So like, we have to talk about your fitness. In Jake's case, dude, like the most important thing is having, you know, it's like having a YouTube channel to nurture your clients, to pre-sell people, to build your authority. Like that is like the thing you're missing. Like that has to be like your mentality, right? Like you have to believe that. And so a lot of times it's like either in the offer, like presenting exactly how this is going to help them make an ROI. And I mean, I can see how some people would be like, oh, well, I want to put this off and kind of figure out my content strategy and stuff first. But it's like, no, like that's basically like why we're having this call. Like that's like part of my service. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that was kind of like what I was trying to do there, is basically just be to him like, the whole like kind of point of like my services is to get you those inbound leads, and that's like the most important thing for you for what you're offering. And then like, you know, because you were saying he needs to make a few more sales or something before he kind of wants to go into it, but then I was like, but that is like the reason why you'd want to do it, is to get those sales. So like, I don't know, I'm trying to kind of show him the value in it, but I just don't know if he's kind of, you know, I don't know if he wants to believe it yet, like, almost.
It's like they're confusing the problem with the solution. It's like, yeah, I get that you need more sales. What we're talking about here is a way to get you more sales, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're kind of like, I would hit him with like an analogy. It's what you're saying. It's kind of like the person who's like really overweight talking to a personal trainer, and they're like, you know what? As soon as I get abs, then I'll work with you. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? It's like, that is exactly what we're going to help you do. It's like, you're going to get more sales from this. Like before, like definitely, you know, more than happy to let you kind of go off and get some clients and stuff. Before we do, like, is there anything keeping you less than like 100% confident that this is like the right thing for your business? And, you know, like you need it, like some language around that, like that setting up a YouTube channel is going to help you get to this goal, whatever the goal is that he says earlier. Yeah, Raj, you can share your screen.
Thanks, bro. So yeah, last time it just got cut off, but you want me to finish that conversation or like show you another one?
Yeah, well, either.
Okay, cool. Start. Cool. So this is another one. Very like casual. This guy just followed me.
Cool. What's up? I appreciate the follow. Just curious what resonated with you. I like it. I like your thread about sleep plus journal stuff. You tweet great. Going. Keep it up. Really appreciate the kind words, man. Mind if I ask you questions about your health routine? Nice. Okay, cool. Thanks, Mohammed. I probably would have started with the struggle. You know, like dude, what would you say is like the biggest struggle with your fitness journey?
Okay.
But some people, when you ask about goals, they'll just lead with that anyway. Lose 20 kilograms of weight, run 5K in 25 minutes. I currently do 5K in 37. Currently weigh 103 kilograms and is 180 centimeters tall. What do you think is the hardest part of achieving these goals? Discipline. Dude, I love what you did here. Dude, you remind me of Sarup. You know, struggled with managing sugar cravings and yeah, I love what you're doing. Like we call this like utilizations, like using what they say to kind of like relate. Plus the social proof. This is really good. I feel like
scroll down.
We missed something. Yeah. Yeah. Scroll down. Actually, no. Okay. So you're like, do you have 30 minutes next week to chat? So he goes, yeah, sure. Cool. So he's just like ghosting now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see his bio. See if he seems legit for an Indian guy.
Yeah, go like some of his does he have any tweets that you can like?
Boom. Happy anniversary. That's good, right?
Yeah. There you go. Like if I go and if I go look at the document that, like from the DM masterclass that I did.
Is this in where is this, Kajabi or like the Notion?
That's a good question. I just put it. I just look in the Slack channel.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? So okay, so you're like, okay, what do you is like? You're like, what's the hardest part? You know, and he goes, oh, it's discipline, it's sugar cravings, da da da. Totally get that, man. Send screenshot of, you know, my client, blah blah blah. Said the same thing. We were able to help him the next time. I guess he already did the goals. And like I would go. So by the way, I checked your profile. Love that you're in. You know, it's really cool that you're in marketing. That's awesome. Sounds like you have some good goals. Well, I think what we kind of missed was like in the next few months, what would you say are the top 3 things you need to hit that goal? Although he kind of gave it to you, so it's like discipline. Yeah, I don't know, man. I part of me feels like it was like a bridge too far going from that question.
This is not usually how fast I go to showing the testimonial and then doing the CTA, but like I was told by like if they seem ready to jump on a call, there's no point like prolonging the convo.
Yeah, no, which is true. Love these goals. What do you think is the hard part of achieving these goals? So discipline. Yeah. One thing you miss is like just talking about the discipline. Because that like literally like that was his thing, which is like obvious discipline and diet. Like you went into other stuff here which you didn't mention.
Yeah. Well, he said sugar cravings. I mentioned that.
Yeah, he didn't mention. He's like sleep. I can still manage. You're like inconsistent sleep schedule, not enjoying his workouts. So like really like pitch to the problem, which is like, dude, I totally hear you. Like, cause like, what you ever play that game where it's like a kid's game? It's like you have the squares and there's different shapes, and you put the blocks through the hole. So it's like you put the triangle through the triangle hole. You put the square through the square, the circle through the circle. It's like he gave you a square and you try to put a triangle through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You kind of hit it, but like it's like, dude, discipline and diet, workout regime, sugar cravings, discipline. Discipline. Okay, well, dude, I totally hear you. Remind me of my client Sarup, who like also struggled with discipline in these exact same areas. You know, he was around, you know, we worked together to kind of like dial them in. And here's a picture of him before. He was that, you know, I would find a guy that looks just like him, you know, they were like,
this is the closest, man.
Yeah, like perfect. So like this guy was able to drop, you know, 20 kilograms or whatever it was in like this amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was it, bro. I just think I just missed the discipline.
Yeah. And so like happy to share some of the strategies that we use to keep him disciplined with his diet and with his workout routines and sugar cravings and all that. If you're open to it, let me know. And he was like, yeah, I am. Okay, cool. Do you have time for like a 30-minute chat sometime this week or next week? And then just, he goes, yeah, okay, cool. I'll just drop my calendar link here. If I do, will you find a time? Yes. Okay, boom, here it is. And then just do it like that way.
Okay, so make them agree first before like dropping it.
Yeah, dude, it's super important to do that.
Okay, cool. Can I do one more, bro? Or do you want
yeah, unless like I don't see anyone else really. Everyone seems to be good, or they're just watching.
Okay. Cool.
There's people that ghosted. Good ones to look at are like people that you felt like they're good conversations with, then they ghosted.
Yeah, for real. What is his name?
My rash.
See, so tech, finance, commodities, New York. So if I see an Indian guy and it says like Bangalore, Mumbai, and it's a weird bio, I'm not gonna DM them. Right? That's just a fact.
Probably
but if it says
idea.
something like this, then I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Nice. Look, anything specific you're just like in terms of weight loss? Breaking through a plateau. How long have you been in plateau for? Love it. 6 weeks. Oh, okay. Not very long then. Well, like I would maybe say like, what is your plateau for you?
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
Well, I would clarify. So like what plateau is that? You know what I mean? So like clarify and then stretch the duration. Because like breaking through a plateau, like what does that mean? You know what I mean? So like what we're doing here is assuming like oh, I in my head I logically know what a plateau means, but you want it to be a clear picture of their problem. Like, oh, okay, so you're at 212 kilograms and you're trying to drop 12 in the next 4 weeks. Got it. Okay. How long have you been like in the like stuck there for? Gotcha. Oh, like, well, dude, like, why is it even important for you to do that? You know, why not just say where you are? You could probably say something like that, okay, what is the goal? Get like the data point, dude. Love that goal. Like, why is it important for you to drop that weight? Oh, because of this and this and this. Okay, awesome, man. You totally remind me of my client, this guy who is stuck here with da 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 da. I guess I should ask for what do you feel like are the 2 to 3 things that you need to do differently, you know, to do that. Oh, I need this and this and this. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense, man. If you're open to a suggestion, or I would say like what I would do, like totally makes sense. Like if they say like I need a better diet or better food habits, right? That's what he said. So it's like, yeah, dude, I hear that a lot. A lot of people just kind of struggle with that. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, basically just using what he said to book the call. Sorry, I'm like a brain fart.
No worries, bro. No worries. Do you want to see the rest of it or no?
Yeah, so like now we're going into like different problems.
Because the thing is, for me, right, I wanted to be like crystal clear that this is not just some like basic fucking training and nutrition and accountability, because that's what I used to offer, right? And it's more about like there's some holistic health elements, there's a lot of habits, there's some mindset, there's even some business stuff, and there's a lot of sleep stuff and energy, right? So it's fucking, I'm having a tough time trying to like quantify that shit in like an offer in my messaging sequence, because it's relatively new. Like I've only done this like more new offer for like 3 months, 4 months maybe.
So okay, so I was just jotting down some notes. So it's like holistic health, mindset, habits, sleep
energy, and then I have it structured as in like there's multiple phases. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Then phase 1 is just, you know, getting the foundation of health, performance, sleep in place. Then number 2 is like optimizing. Phase 2 is optimizing it, and 3 is like actually like specific like time management, business, productivity shit. But that's only after a few months.
Optimize it, and then business stuff.
Yeah.
Right, because you only work with like business type people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's like foundations up. What are some good like analogies of like I think in like in golf terms, you have people that are like so it's like going from like subpar to par, and then like from like good, or like to switch metaphors, like going from like below average to average, and then from like average to great, or like good from like shit like bad to good, and then good to great. You know what I mean? So like that's
you could say
all
from
we have.
striking out to hitting a single, and from hitting a single to home run.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, like you could probably say how, I don't know, this is something that you probably want to like think of on your calls, like kind of to go back to JK stuff from yesterday, like the positioning, like what is like the big piece that they're missing, or that they have like a false belief about?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
thanks,
the
Eddie.
tricky thing is it's like it's slightly different from like for every client of mine. Like if you look at like my case studies testimonials, they're all very, very different. Like there's some who are 19-year-olds who are skinny, some 43-year-old with 4 kids, right, who are overweight, and everything in between. And for some of them, it's like they already have good energy. Some of them, their energy is fucked, right? So it's like it's pretty tough to like nail it down. That's the thing. But I'm trying to use that to my advantage, in the sense that when I do show my testimonials, they see that, okay, he's helped people from all these different types of starting points get to the end goal. And they're all like in business of some sort. They're all doing well. They're all like high achievers, right? And based on what they tell me, that's how I phrase the end offer, the guarantee, right? And then I also have come at it from a position that I tell them that every single client's different, right? And like needs different things, blah 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 blah. And the guarantee works as in on our first onboarding call, that's where we'll establish the clear goals, the tangible and intangible goals, and then the guarantees based on those goals that we set during that time. Does that make sense, bro?
The guarantee, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I just I don't know, maybe I'm different. I remember hiring a personal trainer, and the guarantee was not even a question on my mind. But yeah, okay, so it's like one thing that just came to mind, because if you remember like the first conversation that we had, like opening up the conversation where it's like giving them to like self-select. So it's like, okay, so most of my clients that I talk to, or most of the high achievers that I talk to, they tend to struggle with one of these 3 or 4 areas. So it's like energy, sleep, maybe brain fog and focus, overall focus, or just like maybe time management, like, like maintaining their health and fitness while dealing with, while running a business or being like a really high achieving, like professional. Which one, if not all of these, resonates with you? And then whatever if they say one particular, I would have screenshots of like people, like your past clients who've dealt with this, my brain fog's gone, my sleep went from this to this, like whatever they say, I was like, boom, oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it's like my biggest thing is like just time management, dude. Totally. You remind me of my client Jeff, and dropped a screenshot of him saying, able to like, if you have a really good one where it's like, let's say he only has like an hour a week to work out or something, he's able to like work out in like 1 hour a week and still drop all his weight. I guess I should ask you, boom, 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 like what's the goal? Awesome, love that. Why is that important to you? Cool, makes sense. Look at their profile. Hey man, you're in New York. That's pretty cool. Are you like a Wall Street guy? Haha. By the way, I guess I should ask, like, what do you feel like you need to, to hit that goal? And then basically based on what they say, just use that to position the call. And like you follow the right process here, but it's just like, again, it's this thing in sales in general. It's like we want to turn stories into numbers. So it's like, I'm at a plateau. Like, what is a plateau? What does that mean? Like, I don't actually know. Like I know what a plateau is. Like you hit a certain rank, but like I want to know the exact details of their current situation, like their Hell Island and like their Heaven Island, their desired situation. Like, what does that look like? Like, what's the weight? Like, or like, I don't know, whatever it is. So it's just like getting clear on that and then going to the next thing.
Okay, cool. So basically I'm running through the process of the outreach relatively correct in terms of like getting the goals, challenge it, relating to the testimonial, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not getting deep enough into their like clarifying their actual challenges.
Well, this guy in particular, you know, like, so, okay, go from the top and let's like actually scroll all the way to the bottom. This might be helpful. Appreciate the follow. So warmly, what, just curious. Okay, good opening, in-depth thing about weight loss. Awesome. Like, honestly, like you did a lot really well. So it's like using what they say to like further the conversation. Anything specific that you're struggling with in terms of weight loss, breaking through a plateau, like, gotcha. How long have you been plateau? Like, it's good, but like, again, it's like, what does that mean? Like, what is a plateau for you? We can speak as obstacle from losing weight. Probably need better food habits. I'm holding at 1,700 calories a day, which at my weight should be enough to lose. What is your weight? You probably could have just like probed, because he brought it up. Dude, what is your weight? Yeah, maybe he's like weighs 115 pounds. I don't know. Wow, it's very low. So it's like, you've been eating some, kind of like relating. Yes, I've been working out with weights for 30 minutes a day. How would you describe the quality of sleep? Not good. Wake up sometime. It's definitely playing a part in the weight loss plateau. So you gave him a bit of value. Mommy Swoop, he's a software engineer at Apple, started with weight loss for years. He tried every diet possible, eating 1,500 calories at one point in time. Okay, so you missed like an opportunity here, which is interesting. He healed his metabolism. Bro, like, honestly, dude, in many cases, I hear guys that go into a major calorie deficit. One of the biggest problems is that they actually damage their metabolism. And that's the real reason why they don't lose weight. Right?
Okay.
It's like, if you have like an analogy to, it's like, I don't know, it's like you're trying to like get more mileage out of your car, but you're just like, when you don't put enough gas in it, it's like breaking down the engine or something. I don't know. And so like here, rather than just dropping the case study and then pitching a call, like now he's saying like, I've lost 20 pounds in the last 3 months. Like, is that good? Is that your goal? Like, I don't know. I've had success in the past with losing weight, intermittent fasting, resistance training. Now I need to break through this plateau. I'm open to talking next. Okay, well, he's open. So it's just like, in terms of like conversation, like good, better, and best, like, if I think like that whole metabolism thing, like that would have been offered to, it would have been a great example to like maybe save into the end. If that's like a common thing, like, I don't even know. I'm just kind of like, I'm just like, you said it, so I'm imagine it's the thing.
Okay.
To go up. Yeah, so it's like that, like the case study is like about his goal, and it's like, rather than say, would you jump on a call right after that, I would say, yeah, I mean, like, well, like, what do you feel like you need to like really like make this weight loss happen? Like, what are the few things you need? And so it's like, because like, what do you feel like you need to break through this plateau? Unless we already mentioned that, but yeah.
What if you say, what do you think you need? And they say, I don't know, you're the fitness coach.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I'd be like, yeah, fair enough, man. You could say, you could give them an option. You feel like it's habits, or do you feel like it's maybe accountability, or do you feel like it's like, I just don't know what to do? You know what I mean? Okay. And either which one they pick, it's like, well, okay, I can help you with that. You know what I mean? It's like, you would know. Like, you could say like, okay, gotcha, dude. In my experience, the people that struggle with this, it's like they either don't know what to do outright. They know what to do, but they aren't doing it, so they need accountability. Yeah. Or like they know what to do, they're doing it, but they don't have like a specific plan to them. Like they're just kind of like winging it. So like they could be doing it way better. Which one do you fall in? Oh, on this one. Why do you say that? Oh, because like blah, blah, blah. I've hired all these coaches in the past. I know how to work out. You know, I track my calories. blah blah blah. Yeah.
For sure.
And then you could say something like, dude, yeah, I totally hear you, man. You mentioned your sleep. Like one thing I've seen in the past is like two major problems that a lot of people don't know they have. Like they're working out consistently and they're in a caloric deficit. But like two things can happen. One, when they don't sleep, their body doesn't have a chance to like blah, blah, blah. And that could impact their weight loss. The other thing is like being in a caloric deficit. Yeah, you lose weight, but it can like damage your metabolism. And when that happens, like, that's one of the common causes for plateauing, right? And then if he's like, oh shit, I didn't know that. Like, yeah. And then you could basically pitch the call that way. Like, I'm happy to talk to you about this. Obviously it's something you probably like wouldn't just chat about over Messenger. If you're open to having a quick chat next week for like 30 minutes, let me know. We'll find a time.
Okay. For sure.
And then do you have, this is just like a sales thing. Like, do you have 30 minutes next week to see how I can help you achieve similar results? So there's like, there's like that way, which is like, do you like, if you're on a sales call, like here's an example. So there's like a more neutral way you can say this, where it's like, hey, if you found a way to do this faster, would you be like, I guess like, when would you want to start? Right. Versus like, hey, if I could show you how to like lose 20 pounds, would you be interested? Versus like if you found a way to lose 20 pounds, like, and do it within the next XYZ time, like, would you be interested in that? It's just like a very, I guess, it's like a small wording change.
Okay.
Cool. It's just a more neutral way. Like you'll get less resistance overall. Where it's like, totally, dude. It's just like, yeah, I hear that a lot. I mean, if you found a way to do this a bit faster, it sounds like you're on the right track. You're losing 20 pounds in the last few months. But if you found a way to do it faster, would you be interested to hearing more about that? Or would you be like, would you be open to that? Like, open to see a faster path? Or I don't know. So it's the focus is on them, right? That's the big thing here is like the whole conversation is about them. Like, if I could show you how to get similar results, because then you're putting it back on you.
Okay, for sure.
And again, it's like we're pitching. I'm always pitching to the problem, like similar results. Like, gotcha, dude. Like, I've helped quite a few clients break through these plateaus. Maybe get a little bit of value, like the what, not the how. Typically, we help them fix their metabolism, help them adjust their sleep, and get some figure out a better, more sustainable diet plan to kind of like produce long-term results or something like that. More than happy to walk you through some of the strategies that my clients have used. If you're open to that, regardless of whether you want to work with me or not, let me know. And he goes, yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. Like, I've got some. Do you have 30 minutes this week to chat, or like next week, or what's your schedule looking like? Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, man. that I could see how that would definitely be like a lot more neutral, a lot less like salesy, and just have them like let their guards down and stuff.
Yes, sir. Speaking of the gym, I better go to the gym pretty soon.
What are you hitting today, bro?
Well, I did chest yesterday, so today I'm gonna hit chest.
Today's
again.
chest and arms.
What do you mean? You guys hit other stuff?
Yesterday was chest and buys, so today's chest and tries.
Exactly, bro. I finally am up. I'm back to bench pressing like 2 plates. My
bro, hire me. You'll bench press four plates in one day.
Wow,
no, that's pretty sick. 2 plates. How much do you weigh? Because that's impressive.
Like 200. But
okay,
like
200.
I have really long arms, so it's always hurt. And I always flared my elbow. Dude, I flared my elbows. I realized I fixed my form and like instantly made me way stronger. So
nice.
Yeah. Jake, since you're on here, man, if you want to go over some stuff.
I just got back from my dinner actually.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, because I saw that you put in the chat about like if I recorded the call, and I'm actually gutted because I didn't. I was going to do it and I forgot. Because it was
It's a good
it
idea
would have
too.
been a really good one to get insight on as well, because like it was going so well. Like we were like you could clearly kind of see where I was coming from, like, and we fully like shared the same sort of vision and feelings towards like basically the offer. Like he was selling himself on it basically up until the point where I said the price, and he must have just thought it was going to be a lot cheaper than what it was going to be, even though his like high ticket offers like 6K, and the deal that like my offer to him, it was like 2 videos a week, 30 shorts per month, and like management of all of it, like with the SEO and like actually posting it, everything. And I said like 3.8K, and his high ticket offer is 6K. So one inbound lead and one sale from that would have.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I was trying to communicate to him, but I don't know.
So two thoughts. You have the right instinct. That's called chunking down. So listen, bro, you only need one client from this to make an ROI, right? Like, and that's like on the low end. Like, how many leads do you have right now? Oh, like whatever. Let's say he has like an email list of 1,000 people. Gotcha. And like, do you feel like if you had a system to kind of warm these people up where they can get more value, kind of like binge on your stuff and like really see you as the expert, do you feel like that would make your calls easier? Like you would close more people? Yes. Okay. What's your closing percentage right now? 20%. Huh. Okay. And like, if you had this, like, give me a ballpark, like how many more do you think you would close? What would your closing percentage be? Oh, maybe 30%. Oh, really? And like, that would be like how many more sales per month? Like maybe it's 2 sales a month, or like 3 sales a month, or 5, or whatever it is. So it's like, okay, you're saying like, if you had this in place and you made an extra, let's say it's bulk conservative, like an extra 2 clients, which would be what, 6,800, like an extra 12K.
Yeah, like nearly a 4x ROI basically. Yeah,
so that's like low end. And so like we're not talking about like we're not just talking about like a few YouTube videos here. We're talking about more clients, right?
Yeah.
And so like and that's just like being conservative. Like ideally it'll be more, and that's something that's not just going to stop. It's not like you're only get results like this month. Like you're going to have this asset that's going to continue producing for you for the rest of your business's life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I tried communicating that as well, because I like tried being like as well, like, it's, remember, you're not just paying for this month of like videos, you're actually paying for like, you're basically investing your money for like in assets that are going to kind of pay you dividends for like the rest of the time on the internet, because it's not just like they're up for that month and then it's the end of it. It's like, they're
and dude, for you, man, like, don't focus so much on the deliverables. Like, we want to focus on like, we sell futures, not like YouTube videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like focusing on the end outcome. Like, okay, gotcha. Like, why? Like, you do this by asking questions. So it's like, okay, like, why are you wanting to grow an audience, or like to use YouTube? Like, what benefits do you see from you having a YouTube audience? And let them tell you. And if they can't really think of any, you can offer some suggestions. Well, like if I were to brainstorm some like reasons why I'd want to have, like, if I sold a high ticket thing, reasons why I'd want to have a YouTube audience. Number one, to build more trust.
Yeah.
Right. More trust, more authority, more, like goodwill, build up that like trust factor.
Yeah.
And like, if you have a big audience already on a different platform, but they're not reaching out to you, like, how many calls are you getting per month from your audience? If it's a low number, typically that's a sign that you just don't have enough authority or enough of that goodwill, right? Basically what that trust is basically another word for that is like goodwill. It's like, you just don't have that. So like, once you have a platform, or like once you have like a like something. It's almost like the Netflix effect, you know. It's like you have something that people can binge on once they find your. They see your ad or they see your tweet. It's like, well, now, like once people kind of like you, like, oh, they can go and they'll start searching you up. They do this anyway. They'll go start checking through all of your shit, right? Like, they'll start, if you have a podcast crush, like this YouTube's crush, it's like, okay, they start looking through all your shit, you know. And it's like, before long, they're going from like someone who doesn't even know who you are to like, I want to buy your shit. And if your content's on point, not only are you going to like, it's not just about like building an authority, but also pre-handling objections. Right. So like in like doing the positioning of like handling their false beliefs and like all of these like limiting beliefs that people might have, like your content can like do the heavy lifting of like pre-handling that before people get on a call with you. And like you could have it in your sequences. So like if someone joins your email list, you can make sure like you send them an email. It's like, hey, by the way, if like, you know, like maybe the first 3 emails that you send out, each one links to a YouTube video that handles a major objection that your clients typically have. Like, what are your top 3 objections? You know, it's like, oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't know if I can do this, blah, blah, blah. You know, and so like, you can have it as a sequence that people have where it's like, you know, it's not just about having a YouTube channel that's you're going to get some audience. Like no one really cares. It's like using it strategically versus just trying to like become famous on YouTube. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's because like, I mean, like I genuinely do feel like I did quite well on this on the call, and I actually did think it was literally just like, even when I told them the price, I felt like I handled it well, and like I communicated across. It's not like I was like, it's not a case of like how much you're paying me to do this. It's how much I'm making you for you to do, like basically buy my service. Like it's the you're paying.
It's like an ROI.
Yeah. Like and I clearly like described the ROI factor. And the thing is as well, like you had to go pick up it. Like, well, I mean, I don't know if he did, but I think he did. But he had to go like pick up his son, so he really had to go because the call was like ended like basically was longer than expected. So he had to basically leave. So I feel like if I just basically had more time to kind of get him to pay, because in the end basically I like we basically lowered it down to like a lower package for 3K, and he seemed like he was just gonna go ahead with that, and he was like, oh, I've got to go pick up my son, but like if you send over the payment link, I'll do it. And then obviously I sent over the payment link, waited a bit, and then nothing happened. So I followed him up, and then that's kind of where you saw the DMs take place, and then where he came in with the like, he's basically not ready.
Was he making money?
So he was like, I can't remember how many people he said, but it was quite a, because I thought I was going to basically get on the call, and he was going to be someone who wasn't really making a lot of money with his offer. But I remember being like pretty shocked at how many people he said went for the 6K offer. But what I do think he said was like, it was a fairly recent offer that he introduced, and he was he like previously had problems with like fulfillment and stuff. So my theory is that like he's introduced it pretty recently, and he might be like trying to get his kind of operations to a T to before he like, and get maybe consistent, like become more reassured that he's getting like consistent sort of people interested in his offer, so that he knows that his offer is like actually good before he kind of invests in something that, I don't know, that's just my kind of theory. But even still, I think the offer is a no-brainer for him, and I communicated that across as good as I could. But I don't know, he's just
it's like, if you think in terms of like the objections that people have, like it's pretty much always the same. So it's like the first thing that you have to tie down before you do the price drop, because like every sales call goes great before the price drop, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, before we're going into the price, how do you feel about the process? Like, assuming you did a really good job of like linking his pain points to like how this is going to fix it, and like here's how you're going to get an ROI, here's what you can expect, kind of going into the numbers and making it like a really no-brainer, you know. It's like, okay, like how do you feel in the process? Like, you can do a scale of 1 to 10. So like 1 is like, this sounds horrible, get me off the phone with this guy. 10 is like, I could really see YouTube being a viable channel to like get me to my goals. Where do you like, how, like, where do you land? And if they're like, I'm like a 9 or a 10, I'm like, okay, awesome. If they're like an 8, cool, awesome. Like what's stopping you from being like, where are those extra 2 points, you know? It might be some objection, like, well, what about this? Well, I don't know how to like create the content. Gotcha. Well, that's why we have this and this and this.
So basically handling the objections
sense?
before you even
handling all the objections before the price.
Yeah.
Earlier in the call, you know, like making sure that like, you know, if he's like, oh, I have fulfillment issues, I'd be like, well, what do you mean? Like, how are those fulfillment issues like impacting your business? Like, are you getting refunds, you mean? Or like you can't handle new clients?
Yeah, he did actually mention a refund or two. Now that you've said that, he did mention that.
Yeah, so like, okay, well, like, gotcha. Well, like, what was your total revenue last month? You know, like getting into those numbers.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is that before or after refunds? Like, what was it after refunds? Okay. I hear it. So anyway, back to objection. So it's like tying down, like 100% certain on the process, not the price, you know? So it's like, you can definitely see, you know, it's, you want to listen to not just their words, but their tonalities. Like, oh yeah, I for sure see this. If someone says it like that, with like, oh yeah, this is like a no-brainer. Like, awesome. Like that person's like, you tied off this uncertainty objection. They're like, yeah, I can see this being good. Well, I'm sensing some hesitation there. Like, what's coming up for you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know about YouTube because like blah, blah, blah. Because then you can kind of like go back and handle that versus you just going and say, oh yeah, it's whatever the price is. And then they're like, oh, well, like they'll usually just like throw out an objection where it's like, yeah, I'm totally in. I just want to like go, you know, like I just want to get my content in order or something. They'll throw some weird shit. Yeah. It's like, okay, so we tie down, like, this is something that they for sure could see themselves doing. Earlier in the call, we're kind of like, I would like be going into their finances a little bit. And like, okay, well, like with your current content, you could either like talk to them about their content, like is your content creating leads, or like ask them about their lead generation or like their lead nurture process. Like how many of these are they getting? How many of those are closing? You know, do you feel like one way you could go about it? It's like, okay, like you had how many calls last month? 10. Okay, cool. And like of those 10, were all 10 your perfect client? No. How many were? Like 5. Okay. And like how many of those 5 closed? 1. Okay, 1 in 5, 20% closing rate, I guess. Do you feel like you not closing more? Like, why do you think that is? Is this like a breakdown your sales process, or is it like maybe a marketing issue? Like you're not talking to the right people?
Yeah.
And regardless of what he says, if it's a sales process, I say, interesting. How's it showing up for you when you say sales process in particular? You know, like, are you getting certain objections, or like, is it like a lack of trust? And if he goes, not talking to the right people, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's your content. Either way, it's like, you can kind of like help them with it.
Yeah. Like lack of, if it's like sales process and lack of trust, then it's like build the trust.
It's like lack of trust, it's objections. Yeah. It's like, you know, I have no authority, so it's like, it's hard for me to charge a high price. People don't really know who I am, anything like that. You know, it's like, well, dude, like this is a perfect thing for you, because like we're going to accelerate that trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's like, well, I'm just not talking to the right people, I'm like, okay, well, it's some kind of messaging issue. Yeah. So, right. And so anyway, if they're like 100% bought in that this is the right thing, now's the right time. Okay, it's just $3,800 per month to get you an extra XYZ clients per month, you know, from your YouTube, or to like to turn, or to get everything set up so that you have like this channel that's going to nurture your clients and bring in more hot qualified leads. Yeah, it's just $3,800 per month. It will take care of everything.
Good. That's like, because he was literally like before the price, like it was actually like he was so for it. Like you could tell by his energy, he was like he was like, yeah, like this is like you could really tell. And then as soon as I hit the price, like said the price, his face just like just dropped. But it's not even that bad of a price as well, especially considering it's like
honestly,
as high
dude,
to
he
go
might
as
just been
6K.
more. Yeah, like he might have been like either more broke than he let on, or like we didn't do a good enough job of like establishing the value, and we're too focused on the videos. It's like, okay, well, like I'm paying that much for like 2 videos and a few shorts. Like I could probably find someone on Fiverr to do that. So we didn't really differentiate ourselves from Joe Blow on Fiverr, which would be part of my pitch. So like, yeah, dude, like you could totally just find someone to like chop up your videos on Fiverr. You know, there's plenty of people out there, but you know, to find someone who's like going to help you strategically come up with content, if that's your issue, or finding someone who's like also really good at SEO and who's also really good at like
targeting your exact audience that you want,
targeting your exact audience. Yeah, like finding
doing
research
leads
to find like what's going to actually like what's going to actually work, I guess. And yeah, and like coming up with strategies of how to actually best use your YouTube within your follow-up, within your lead nurture, as a maybe even as a like a lead generation channel. Like, yeah, they're not going to be able to tell you anything like that. You know what I mean? Like these guys are working in the Philippines.
Yeah.
With that said, like that's kind of like what we do. Is we're not just like a YouTube management company, but like we're really helping you with your marketing and getting this all dialed in and creating a new asset. That's like you're not paying for a service, you're paying to build an asset that's going to last you forever, which is going to generate more and more income. The more you put into it, the more you get out. So like this month you might get an extra client, next month you might get 2 extra clients, you know, like next month after that you might get 10 extra clients. It's like it's almost like an exponential. Like the better kind of like videos you put out, the more you put out, it's just going to keep building on itself or something like that.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, maybe I didn't communicate it like, because I remember the call and I knew I was like I was really kind of pushing this fact that out. It would basically turn his YouTube, because he already has a YouTube channel and like but his content strategy is not that good. So I was like really focusing on the fact that like would basically turn it into like an inbound lead machine, basically, is kind of that was kind of what I was going for. But that was when I was just kind of making the shift towards starting to sell the result rather than like just what I'm producing basically for them. So
I wouldn't even say it's like an inbound lead machine, but it's something that if you already have leads, it's like it's taking people that are cold. So there's like, if you look at the whole process of business, you know, it's people that are strangers, they don't know who you are, and then there's people who are cold. It's like bringing those people into your network. Like you're probably going to do that off of YouTube, right? Like maybe with your Twitter, people that already know who you are, and they kind of like, let's say you hook them on Twitter, like they kind of like your stuff, they see a few of your tweets, they like you. But you know, YouTube's a great channel because you have another modality. It's video, so they can build more trust faster. They see your face more. They're like, I like this guy, you know, and so they go from cold to warm. If it might take them 45 days on Twitter to go from like, I don't know who this guy is, to like, I'm kind of like like maybe I should work with him, maybe I should buy some of this stuff. Might take them a bit longer. But if you have video on top of that, where they can just go through a whole bunch of, they can just binge to your stuff, and it's all super valuable. It's all targeted directly to their pain points, and it's like you're giving them, you know, you're building up that familiarity so much faster. Man, you might shorten the curve from how fast someone goes from like cold to like very hot. Like I want to work with this guy. Like from like, we're talking like maybe 45 days down to like maybe a week or 2, or you know, it's something like that. It's funny because I listened to this guy. He's like a fitness guy. His name's Wes Watson. I listened to his podcast a lot. I randomly found him through another podcast, but I went through the exact same thing with him. I'm like, man, I started listening to his podcast all the time and checking him out his YouTube and going on his Instagram and looking at his shit. I'm like, I'm gonna buy his, like, he's like, I've already decided, I'm gonna buy one of his programs. But he says, like, his whole thing is just like super consistent on generating the content. And most of the people that buy from him, like a lot of them follow him for like, have been following for like 3 years before they ever bought. But like, you know, they wouldn't have bought if he wasn't so consistent. So
yeah, and it's like there's such like a huge kind of backlog of people, like the people that are interested in his products, like backdate so long, it's still a consistent flow of people who are buying his products, because it's, and that's the thing as well, like since it's an asset, like people will just watch those videos like years to come even as well, and kind of get warmed through the content that way. The thing is as well, like it's, I feel like if I had a way to kind of show results of, like, I don't know how I can kind of accurately track results or like that kind of thing with like my kind of offer, because people don't really go directly from YouTube to like the website wherever the offer's on. They just like watch the YouTube videos and become warmed through it, and then they might actually go to the website through Twitter or through just searching the URL. So like it's tough to kind
like
of
typically
track.
it would be like maybe like some you can do like lead magnets and stuff on their YouTube. So like either in their description, like having an email listing that like a freebie, or in the video itself, hey, if you want this guide I made on how to blah blah blah, click the link below. Or like if it's a thing that pops up, I forget what they're called, like not like annotations or something like that, with a link to like either like go download something, become a lead. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, you're about to see some horrible drawing, but the way I'd be thinking of it, it's like, or if I were going to break down your offer into like a few main things, or actually even better, kind of like overlapping circles. So it's like number one is like the content. Just imagine I spent content planning. Number two, it's like the system to take someone who has no idea who you are and is really cold to like really hot, where they pay you money. And like the way I'd be selling it to people is like, yeah, we're not just talking about creating a few we're not just talking about content planning or like creating like editing YouTube videos and stuff. It's like we're going to create a strategy to consistently take people who are cold and warm them up as fast as possible to where they like, you know, they know, like, and trust you. So no, we're not like doing like just content planning. We're like, we want to create like a content system that, you know, you're creating an asset that's going to do this. And then the way I would describe number two, it's like, okay, like at the different stages, like here's another way to think about it. So if you take someone here, like this is cold, and this is like they bought something from you, and you think of the different stages of the pipeline. So it's like here they're kind of like they've consumed some of your content, they like what you have to say, they're interested, they're warm, and they go to hot, like you know, maybe they booked a call. I'll give it a BC for booked call, right? When they booked the call, it's like, did they get an O for an offer? Right? Maybe you made an offer to buy something on a sales call, and if they didn't go from here, well, we have different YouTube things. So it's like, what we can do is like look at most people try to go from here to here. First of all, we know this to be true. You know, this is the reason why most people's content sucks. And if I were going to strategically make a YouTube video, it's like, well, what are the pieces of content that's going to take someone from like, which are going to build up this authority, this know, like, trust as fast as possible to kind of like get people really warm and then get them to book a call. All right. So it's like, I would have a name for those content pieces, this stuff. basically like your middle of funnel YouTube content. And then your bottom of funnel would be, I'll just tell you what. So this is like top of funnel stuff. And this would be all around like shifting their beliefs around stuff, kind of like, what else? Just general value, I guess.
Yeah.
Middle of funnel would be a mixture of offers. Like I would definitely be trying to like get people on an email list or something like that. Bottom of funnel would be like, you could have like objection handling things. Objections, this could also be here, like kind of like pre-handle them. You could also have follow-up stuff, because one of the best ways to follow up with people is like, if you had a call with them, is just like, hey, I just released this new video on whatever their main objection was, or whatever their pain point was, you know what I mean? So it's like, you let your content be your you let your content follow up for them. Yeah. And it gives you like opportunities to like re-engage the conversation. Hey, name, are you still struggling with your lead gen? I just created this quick video on the top 5 ways to get more leads from YouTube. Thought you would be interested, and send it to them, or send it to them over email or DM. And so here it's just like, we're talking about pillars. It's like, I mean, okay, first of all, we're going to create this system, plan it all out. The whole system, it's like designed to take people and like really accelerate how fast they go from cold to hot, where they're interested in jumping on a call with you and they're buying, and like they're becoming a client, right? From cold to hot to like to sold. That's like the system, like whatever you want to call it, like the trust acceleration system or whatever it is. Yeah. And then number 3, it's just like, well, third part of our offer is just doing it all as hands off on your end as possible. All you do is just, you shoot like 1 video a week or whatever. You shoot a few of these videos, which we basically like tell you what to write. And then we just do the rest. So it's like super easy. Yeah. Right. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because how do you think I should like, because that makes a lot more sense in terms of like, it's like accelerating basically how quickly their audience goes from cold to hot. But how could I communicate that across to them in like a very appealing way? Like, you know what I mean? Because like people might just say like, I don't know, like to even though like, as I understand like what that means in terms of like my offer, like, and it's absolutely huge, like it just seems like putting it in that way isn't very like, I don't know,
like appealing or like easy to explain or what?
Yeah, like just because like I don't know, because like obviously the current like way I've been saying it is like, it basically just like it's an inbound lead machine, but like it brings you a lot more inbound leads, which I guess is just easier to understand, but then also not like as accurate as what it actually does, because that what it does it takes their existing cold traffic or brings in new cold traffic and then nurtures that to become like piping hot offer. And then
I would just explain to them like their overall like content strategy. Yeah, it's like, we don't use YouTube to generate leads. It's not like a lead generator, it's like you have lead generation, you have lead nurture, you have like conversion, you have like D for delivery, and then like you have like back end stuff. So what most people think is like, oh, I'm gonna get my leads from YouTube, and like, can you do that? Yeah, maybe, but it's way easier to, if you're running ads or if you have a big following on Twitter, like YouTube is like, it's all about like this one right here, like this is lead nurture right here. So it's like a lead nurture machine, right? Yeah. And it's like it is a machine, because like if you set it up correctly, like you can, like you can systemize it so that, on day one, they see like video number one, which is like handling their biggest objection. Like on day two, they see like video number two, which is handling their next objection. On day three, as soon as they opt in, right? If they were to opt in to their email list, it's like you start hammering them. Like they see this video, which is going to give them a value and change a belief or handle objection. They see this one, they see this one. And it's like, now we have like an offer. You know what I mean? And so it's like, oh, okay. Now, like after they've seen these three things, it's like, hey, by the way, if you're interested in this, like click this link, or we're looking for 3 more people that are looking to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so like, that's what I would be kind of like selling it as.
So like, also, yeah, because that's probably the thing that I haven't been doing in terms of like selling the system so much, in terms of like thinking of it from like the process that a lead would go through, which would be like, you would direct them to a video and they would watch that one and become a bit more nurtured, and then they would go into the next video and become even more nurtured by that, and then it just keeps on going to the point where they're like, right, every single video I've watched here is so valuable and it's very specific to my needs, and then they get hit with the offer coincidentally, and they're like, oh well, this is just a no-brainer. So I think,
but it's like very systemized too. You don't want it to be random. You don't want it to be like, oh well, I just have to create some videos. Like if I was selling this, if I was you selling it, it's like, yeah, we're going to create some videos and you're going to get some leads from it.
Yeah.
Like, no. It has to be like a very like, oh, I see how that works. I see where it fits in the strategy. I could see why that's going to work, and like how this can only make me more money. You know what I mean? So it's
sorry.
Yeah. Like I think about it like this, dude, like, cause one of the questions I like to ask people is like, again, like how long have you been following like JK if I'm going to sell tweets and clients? And so if someone's like, I've, again, there's like, if this is like, I guess you're British, so, but if this is American football, you have like, the touchdowns over here, and this is like, you're like 100 yards away or whatever. So like, if you're starting here, if someone's like, I just found out about JK 3 days ago, I'm like, okay, this is going to be like a lot harder to sell than someone who's like, I've been following JK for a year and I love everything he does and I buy all of his shit, because there's so much more like of this that's happened. There's so much more nurture that's happened.
Yeah, they've got more trust basically, and
they're way further in the buying process. Yeah. So really what we're talking about here is like, how do we take this buying process and like condense it? So we take this whole process from going a year to like a week or like 14 days, or like it's the whole thing is like taking their buying process and like shortening it essentially. If this is what it used to take, this is what it takes now. And it's about getting like, not like an inbound lead machine, but it's about getting hotter leads, like more, more trust, hotter leads. I wish I had a pen so I could write this easier. Trust is a huge one. It's like, people, like nobody has, like, it's hard to build trust these days. So
and
more
like,
trust, hotter leads, pre-handled objections, right? So you're pre-handling objections if you can.
And you're also like targeting the pain points, like, and as well within the videos, and like, well, the videos would be about the pain points, so it kind of
like you're giving value, right, around pain or like solving pain or whatever. And that's like front end. This is before they book a call. Like they're still going from cold to hot. And then after they book a call, we can have like follow-up content. It's not about people who say yes today. Yeah, you're going to make money from people that are right now buyers, but what about all the people that, it's like, the way I think about it, it's like they're either a now buyer or they're a not now buyer, but it's not like they're saying no forever. It's just like not now, right? And so like we have all the content going on to continually follow up with these people to keep delivering value, but also, keep them top of mind.
Yeah.
And so the main offer would be like, let's get this stuff set up. And then like the ongoing offers, like the follow up and like other stuff. If you have like a sequence that can do this stuff as fast as possible, like that'd be really good. So
yeah,
I would say like having the way I used to do this, it's like, what are their 3 biggest pain points? Like if I was going to deliver this, what are your audience's 3 biggest pain points? And so, for example, when we used to have a coaching business working with agency owners and coaches and stuff like that. So like number 1 was like, what is offer? How do I create an offer that's high ticket? Number 2 is like, how do I get leads? Number 3 is like, how do I sell them? Right. There's a lot more than that, but those are like 3 big ones. Like if and then creating like, so if this is an email sequence, like email number 1, they sign up for a guide. Here's our book, how to grow your agency to 30K per month. They download that, they get an email that delivers it. Next day they get email number 1, which is like a video all about how to create an offer. Hey, if you're anything like a lot of people I talk to, it's like you probably struggle with like knowing how to position your offer to sell for high ticket. I created this video to show you how to do that. Right. And then like in the video itself, basically the way I do it so that they still want to work with me, it's like here's the why. It's like why, what, how, and then now. How now? Let's just say now. It's too small. The video would follow this format. So it'd be like, hey, here's offer. If you're an agency owner and you're not at 30K per month, one of the biggest issues is like you don't have an offer that's positioned as high ticket. When you don't have this, like, it's, you get shittier clients. They're like, you go into all the problems of when they don't have this big problem solved, like, which is having a high ticket offer. And then you go into the what they need to do. So it's like, without telling exactly how to do it, like here are the big 3 things you need. So it's like, number 1, you need to like what, blah, blah, blah. Number 2, you need this. Number 3, you need this. And then the how piece would be like, if you want to know how to do this, probably the best thing is just book a call with my team, or the best thing is to just, watch this webinar or something, whatever the sales process is. And then like click this link to do it, which is like the now piece. And then those would be like the first 3 sequences. And then I would have like a call to action email, which is like, hey, if you're an agency owner looking to scale to 30K, after they've gotten these 3 valuable ones, it's like, hey, I'm looking for a few more agency owners looking to scale to 30K. That's you. Let me know. And so like these would be YouTube videos in here, but this is part of an email sequence, which is all designed to do this faster, right? To shorten the buying curve. Is this making sense?
Yeah, it is. Yes, yeah.
Any
it
questions?
Makes a lot of sense. Not in terms of that. No, it does make a lot of sense in terms of like showing them basically that system behind it, rather than like that every single kind of move that we make is like with good intent. It's not just kind of throwing videos out there and like hoping for the best. It's like everything's done with intention, and it also kind of, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And so on my sales calls, I would be asking questions around these things. These are the big problems that you're solving with lead nurture. So how hot are your leads? Are they cold? How are you, are they coming to you looking for help, or are you still doing some cold? Is there still like a bit of an uphill battle on your sales calls? Like, is there a bit of a trust gap, or do they already show up already loving you? Okay, how many of those leads are you getting? Like one of the biggest signs that you don't have lead nurture is like you might have a huge audience, but very few of them are going from like cold to basically warm or hot. Hot is like when they're reaching out to you. Warm is like they follow you and they kind of they're engaging with your stuff. So it's like, if very few of them are going to booking calls with you and closing, it's like you probably have a lead nurture problem. So like hotter leads, how many appointments are you getting per month from your audience? These are questions I'd be asking you again. It's like, okay, and like, what about objections? Do you get a certain amount of objections a lot? Like, what's your closing percentage? Because you can tie this stuff back to your offer.
Yeah, definitely.
What about your follow-up? Okay, how are you following up with your process? Do you have a system of like a way to follow up with people that still delivers value? No? Okay, interesting. And so when I'm going through, I'll be writing this stuff down. I'm like, gotcha, like here's how we're gonna like quantify, basically like the value of your service. So we're gonna find it. So I'm like, what's your offer? What do you sell? How's the price? You sell $5,000 coaching package. Cool. Like, how are you getting leads now? Oh, I have a Twitter following. Gotcha. Like how many, like how big is your following? 10,000 followers. Love it. Awesome. And like of those 10,000, like how many people are booking calls with you every month? Like how many sales calls are you booking from that? Whatever they say, like let's say 10. Okay, 10. And like, do you have an email list? Yeah. Okay, awesome. Like, are they coming from that as well? Or like, yeah, whatever they say. It's like, okay, so you have 10 leads. Of those 10, like how many close? So it's like 1, or like 2. So okay, so you're making like 10K per month. Gotcha. And like, okay, I'm just curious. Like you said, 10 leads. Are these people like your perfect ideal clients, or are they? So like one thing here is targeted. Because this might come back to your content strategy or content stuff. Like, are these your perfect ideal clients? All 10? Yes. If they are, cool. And are they like super hot when they jump on the phone with you, or are they still kind of like cold, like they don't really know who you are? Yeah, it's like, okay, they're warm. Okay, cool. How come the other ones aren't closing? Is it like, are you getting certain objections a lot? Is there like a trust issue? Like what kind of objections are you hearing on your calls? And like, you see how like none of this is like really related to YouTube per se?
Yeah.
But it's like just the problems that we're solving.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like YouTube's the fastest way to fix this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a lot
of sense. So like by you going into your pitch, you're positioning their pitch all wrong. Where you're like, yeah, I'll create 2 videos for you and 60 shorts. Like the way that you make, if you ask these questions right and you're getting good data, it's like, okay, well, how you told me that you're only getting 10 leads per month and only 5 of them are the right fit.
Yeah.
And like they're cold, you know what I mean? So you're getting all these objections. They always want to think about it. Like they think they can do it on their own. And then you also said, if you take 10 calls, 2 close, 8 of them disappear forever and you don't really follow up with them. Like, if you had a system to follow up with them and still deliver value, where it's not like you're not pushy, but you're still like, you haven't broken that kind of like goodwill. Like, how many more do you think you would close? Like probably a few. And so, like, listen, like, here's what we do. So first things first is we're going to create a content strategy of systems, like to make sure that instead of you booking 10 calls and only 5 being good fits, like we're booking 10 and 10 are good fits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a content issue. We're going to do that first. Second of all, we're going to install this lead nurture acceleration system, whatever you want to call it. Is the whole thing with YouTube is like taking people that already kind of know you, they're cold, and like shortening how long it takes for them to like know who you are, to be bought into what you do, like to see you as an authority, to like, to want to do business with you. We're taking that and shrinking the window down, right, as fast as possible. It's like, you ever like, you could probably use like, I think the Netflix binge effect like is so relevant.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever like watched it, like when Game of Thrones first came out, it's like, people just get hooked to it. It's like, you want to create something similar with your content where they cannot stop watching until they're like ready to buy. It's like a slippery slope. Once they watch one video, like, man, this is so good. Like, who is this guy? Like, how come I've never heard him before? Or like, they already like you on another platform. You already have the audience, but having another modality builds trust faster, right? Because it's not just written, it's like video. They can see you now. And it's like, oh yeah, like, there's all kinds of ways that you can talk about this, but it's like, okay. And it's like, one of the easiest ways is probably just getting them to like ask, have you ever bought in someone? Have you ever been in a situation where you've seen you found a guy, went through his content and you consumed it all, and you're like, man, this guy's so good, and you end up buying. If they admit that to you, it's like game over. You're like, dude, that's what we're gonna do for you. Like, oh, like, you ever been in that situation where you see a guy everywhere, you see one of the stuff, and you're like, I like this guy, and you Google him and you go on YouTube, you search and you find his channel and you just watch all his videos, and it's like, holy shit, next thing you know, you're buying from him.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, position it in that way is actually gonna be, I can already tell it's gonna have a big effect.
Yeah. So the way I come to think of it, the way I'll be doing is like pillar number 1 of your offer is like the content planning, which is going to handle the targeted leads. Pillar number 2 is like pure lead nurture, like taking people from cold to hot as fast as possible. So getting more leads in, the more people that are exposed to your content, like you're going to get more calls booked. So it kind of is an inbound lead generation system in a way, just not directly. You're not creating leads. You're just, the more that are nurtured, like you're just going to get more booking calls.
Yeah.
And so like the second pillar would be all about how we do that. And then the third pillar would be like the follow-up. What about all the people that say no? It's like, well, it's not like they're gone forever. Like, let's create a system to continue offering them value and continue like helping them. Just to stay top of mind, and like, again, shorten the buying window from them. Maybe you wanted to think about it for like 60 days to like 30 days, or from 30 days to 2 weeks, or from 2 weeks to like a week.
Yeah. That's
how I do it.
Yeah, that's actually like, that's a huge difference to how I used to kind of do it. So that's definitely going to help a lot. Yeah, for sure. Because, and another thing as well, like, because I kind of like a way that I thought it would be kind of powerful to frame it, but I didn't want to come across in terms of like I was insulting them or flaming them or anything like that. But I thought it would be like kind of powerful to highlight the fact that almost like their audience is being wasted at the current moment. Like there's like a pool of people within their audience that are literally like waiting to be warmed up, like, and or could be so easily warmed up, and they're out there. But the way that it would be achieved would be through that, because then it's like a FOMO factor of like, oh well, they're just there, and they're like, I could nurture them through this if I actually go ahead and do this. But I don't want to like make it come across as if I'm being like, you're wasting your audience, like you're not.
Well, honestly, dude, like you're on the right point, and I wouldn't feel bad about one second. Getting dark in here. I wouldn't feel bad about saying something like that, man, because like you're the expert, first of all. And if it's, you go to the doctor and you're obese, and you're like, dude, like you're going to the gym, but you're also eating McDonald's 3 times a day, like, and you're fat. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're stupid. If you keep doing this, you're just gonna die. So it's kind of like the same attitude. Like, listen, man, like you're already investing in growing your audience, whether you're investing just your energy in with your time, or if you're spending money. Like if you're like you have this asset, which is like an audience, but it's like, if you don't have a system to warm them up faster, it's like, well, I don't know. I think it's like a speed thing. In a sense. You shorten the time that someone goes from, I don't know who you are, to like buying your shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And like, dude, my content would be probably around, I have this written down somewhere, so I was thinking about it the other day. Where'd it go? Where the heck did it go? I lost it. Hold on. Son of a bitch. I'll have to find it later. But basically, like one of the symptoms of like not having the leadership content is like just having a big audience, but nobody's either engaging or like nobody is like going to the next step, which is like basically booking calls.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have a really big audience, but low amount of calls. It's like number one.
Mm-hmm. And that the audience
anyway,
is actually active, but they're just not like they're engaging with this stuff, but they're just not making that next move, which is to like buy this stuff, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, that's really helpful, to be honest. That's to frame it in that way is like, yeah, I definitely need to start doing that. I've got a guy in the DMs now actually as well, but which I'm talking to called DMs because he reached out to us through one of my tweets that I just posted today. Like one of the I did like an auto DM one like way back. It wasn't successful at all, but like this guy just retweeted it, and obviously I sent him the material, and then I've like struck up a chat with him, and I'm just talking to him now about kind of because he sells a high ticket offer as well, so I'll see how that goes with him. But I don't know what to do with the I might just have to call the other guy lost at the moment, the guy who I was on a call with like yesterday, because it just I feel like I've dealt with it pretty well in terms of, and like obviously I can't go back and change anything now, but like he just seems to not really be having any of it, so he might just need that time. But I don't know how much I should continue to follow up, and like because I knew he was like he was really interested in it, and like he obviously still really is, because he was the one who reached out to me because he saw like some of my work. So he saw a video that I did for Levi, and then he reached out to me from that. So he clearly knows it's like a move that he wants to make, but it literally is just the price. So it's weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Tons of messages. So you already had a call with that guy? Sorry, I kind of missed it.
Yeah, that's the guy that's the guy who I was talking about before, who I had a call with, and I think the call went really well. But like now I'm following him up. He seems like he doesn't want to believe himself at this point that like it's worth this, even though he reached out to me in the first place. It's like now he's like it's flipped ever since the price was mentioned. But I really am trying to making it crystal clear that the ROI is there, and it's like, so it's a tough one, really.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I was like what can you do? I mean, I might send him like a Loom video as, hey man, I just shot this video to give you some thoughts, and just maybe cover some of the stuff that I was just doing. Like if we just do this and this and this, like you'll get more leads, you'll get more,
yeah,
blah blah blah, like more hotter leads, you get more of them, and like it shouldn't be an issue to start closing a few extra clients per month, especially if you implement like a sequence where we can like pre-handle their major objections before you get on the call, and like give them that value before they hop on with you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's actually a good idea in terms of, because I don't just want to keep sending them messages, because after going back and forth a certain amount of times, you realize it's going to continue to go back and forth unless you kind of, because messages can only do so much. But if I actually go to the effort of like showing them how it would work, then maybe that would help with it.
Yeah, just more
also,
clarity, man.
Yeah, and then the DMs like I sent you where I was like I was writing like a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
like I was writing like full on paragraphs. I'm a little bit disappointed with that one, because that would have been like he did seem interested as well, but I felt like I
just gotta leave it for a few days.
What, the one where I was sending like loads of like the long messages?
Yeah.
Yeah, because but then he started mentioning his workshop and stuff. So I don't know if you started trying to sell me something, but
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, so I might just have to leave that for now. Yeah. Cool. Okay, well, I mean, thank you so much, because that was a lot of help going through all that.
Yeah, no worries, man.
I really appreciate it. And going forward as well, I'll record my sales calls as well. Because that would be very helpful to have that sort of them gone through.
Do it, yeah, dude, for sure. We'll get you closing deals real fast if you record them and send them to me.
Okay, cool.
I put a basic script in the lead gen sales channel. If you scroll up a bit,
I saw you tagged us in something. I don't know if that's what it was.
I think that was the masterclass for the DM setting. But
oh, right, okay.
There's a lot of stuff. If you scroll up a little bit, you should be able to find it.
Okay, cool.
If not, we'll probably put in a Notion or Kajabi or something.
Oh yeah, I think I got it. Based on the first message, I would like to is you said. I think I've got it. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but for you, it did like the questions I would be asking would be around those points. So it's like, how targeted are your leads? How many are closing right now? How many do you feel like it's like a breakdown the sales process, or is it like a market, like a messaging issue?
Mm-hmm.
How many hot leads are you getting per month is a really good question.
Right.
So like right now if you're like, what's a hot, like, how many people are reaching out to you for help every month, right? And are they qualified?
Mm-hmm.
So those are good. That's a good line of questioning. Like, how many are you closing? How many are like, what kind of objections are you getting? Like, of the people that say no, like, are you getting a certain like objections a lot that keep coming up, right? And then that would all help you like basically tailor your offer to how it's exactly going to help him solve those problems.
Yeah, and it'll give us a bit of data as well to work with them, so I'm kind of like basically help sell themselves with what they've told me, like through like we'll help you get more hot leads, or like like
it's just a matter of like showing them how your offer solves those problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I guess at the moment, like I'm just kind of telling them it, but I'm not actually like showing them so much how it would work. Because if I showed them, if I went into a more in-depth level of how it would actually achieve that result, then obviously that would help in terms of like them actually believing it themselves, which might be.
Yeah, dude. Well, like you wouldn't even have to necessarily do that.
Right.
Like going into like how it works. I would just like, as I'm asking questions, because in your presentation, like you have like three main parts, right? So it's like the content strategy or the planning. It's like, that's going to make sure you're talking to the right people and that you're like, the leads you are getting are qualified. The second piece is like, how warm are they and how many are you getting? Right. So if they have a very low amount of warm leads, but they have a big audience, like that's a huge problem. It's like, okay, like lead nurture is like for sure the thing that you need to work on for the next like 90 days. And that's how I frame it. Like you need to focus on this for 90 days minimum. And then like, so it's like, okay, like how many are booking, how many are closing? And then like, do you follow up with I would probably ask away, like, do you have a system to follow up with the people that say no, where it's like you're still maintaining like your leadership, or you're doing it in like a non like dickish way, like, for lack of a better word, like you have like content that's going to like keep them top of mind, and it's like going to continue delivering value.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I gotta hop off. I'll do something with this recording. I'll drop it in the Slack channel there. So
yeah, thanks so much, man. No, I appreciate that a lot. That was
no worries, dude.
Good help. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
A drink.
Yeah,
you got it. Let's go get some money. Let's go close some deals.
I'll try my best.
All right, dude. Record them. Record your calls on Zoom.
Yes. Yeah. I will. Okay. Bye, Ben.
All right. Bye.